All right, so welcome back. And of course, as we continue having this conversation, with me in studio, we have Eva Muhia, who is the Commissioner, NRC. Now, in case you're wondering what it is that we've been discussing, and if you've just joined us, well, we have been talking about the river regeneration project. And of course, she is the Commissioner of the National Nairobi Rivers Commission. And yeah, she has just been highlighting what exactly it is that they've been doing, the work that they've been, trying to achieve when it comes to the policies, when it comes to the progress, the success, the challenges that they've encountered along the way, the current status, where they're at, and what exactly you can do as community if this is something that interests you and you want to also be involved. Well, you can also get your questions in and do let us know what it is that you want Eva to talk about right here. So the WhatsApp number is on your screen, as you can see. So please feel free to send in a message, and also you can call us live and talk to us regarding the same. So Eva, before the break, you mentioned that the community level is something that is really in play with the river regeneration projects, and different communities have been involved, and you've been trying to just get input from them, as well as make sure that they are benefiting in a certain way. Green jobs is something that has been discussed over and over, and I feel like now you've highlighted what it is. You've told us what exactly the communities are benefiting with when they are engaging in these projects that you are doing. And yeah, maybe you can tell us what it is that they can do if they want to be involved, how they can plug into your projects, and what it is that they need to do to be involved.
Yes, thank you. The communities that is within the space of the youth, women, and even children.
Absolutely.
I think the first is to look at how do you structure yourself. Mm-hmm. Because when you say, when you get into a community space like Dagoretti, and you have all these many youths, 10 here, 20 here, 5 here, doing something, and you want to involve them, if they're not formalized, it becomes very difficult, because now you're dealing with individuals. You're not dealing with a team, and there's no accountability.
Yeah.
So it is to encourage them to form formations that are formalized.
Okay.
Is it a self-help group? Is it a CBO? Try and formalize that, because it becomes very easy. When we got into the commission, the first thing we did was mapping.
Okay.
And to look at who are within the river corridor, the groups that are working, and we were able to identify 324 groups.
Wow.
Some formal, some informal. Those that were informal, encouraging them, formalize yourself. At least have something that shows you're formal. If it is like a small group of children trying to do something, you can still structure that within a school community, mm-hmm. and it becomes formal. So that becomes very easy, not just for the Nairobi River Regeneration, but also to any government project, any private sector project they want to come. Probably there's a company that wants to come and support. It will support structured spaces, like community groups. But an individual, it becomes very difficult because of forms of accountability, and we need responsibility. We need a structured approach to be able to support even the communities. And this is what we've really been encouraging. And we looked at the National Youth Council, it is the same. Mm-hmm. That is what they're saying, formalize yourself. You want the National Government Affirmative Fund, and that is going to the counties through the women reps. It is easy to deal with groups that are formalized. So formalize yourself. Okay. If you formalize yourself, you're able to get different opportunity in the climate space, in the energy space, in whichever space that you're able to do that. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's how they can engage, of course, with these projects, by coming in as a community and not individuals.
Yes, not individuals.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. That's some great advice. Yes. Eva, of course, you also mentioned, the private sector. And I feel like when we have such projects of this caliber, of this magnitude, sometimes you do require funding. Sometimes you do require people from different entities to come together and, of course, come into play and try and fund such campaigns. So how exactly do the private sector, people from private sector, of course, different companies, how do they get involved, and how are they able to fund certain projects? Do you work with people in the private sector? Is that something that you've been doing, or is it something that you would like to do in the near future?
Yes, of course, partnership is key.
Collaboration is
Collaboration is key. So we are working with the private sector.
Okay.
It's also looking at where do they plug in. So what we did within the 27 kilometer as a catalytic project is first to look at now what is the role of government? What must government first do? Then we bring in the plugs in. So the plug-in, what we're doing now is mapping, also taking database for the private sector who've been involved in climate issues, river cleaning, and different initiatives towards that direction, and bringing them together, mapping them first, then come up with a structured approach, a framework that will be able to guide where do you plug in, based on your muscle, on what it is that you are able to do. Also investors, where if there are those that would want to invest if something is viable, and then they would want to be part of this. And so that is, we are looking into different approaches that can be done, but in a more framed way, which is more sustainable. And that is why the Kenya School of Government is playing a key role, and in terms of this, even the summit, and that is why it's placed where we are having the summit at the Kenya School of Government, because they have a leadership in policy and training. And so they're also able to guide us, and also how will these plugs in look like? How will these policies align to, so that even when we are not there, it is still a continuation. It's a framework that could be used in any section of government, in private sector, and how we plug in into any project that is of value to the citizens and to the communities, to the livelihood, to the environment.
Okay, brilliant. And of course, you know, the COP30 is coming up. It is something that every person who is involved with climate action is talking about. It's happening very soon, in fact. Is that something that you would like to tell us more about, and what your hopes are for Africa, for Kenya, from this year's COP30? Yes.
I started by saying that climate change is local before it gets global. It starts flooding in our neighborhoods. It starts flooding, drought in our back gardens. So that localization the impact needs to start, and implementation needs to start here. So we are calling it Road to COP30, starting at home, starting with my neighborhood. What are you doing to ensure that the small space that you have, that it is climate resilient?
Absolutely.
Then we scale this up now to the global conversation. We are looking into COP31, very hopeful, and a lot of faith that we are going to have like 20 to 30 local people from the communities attending the COP to give these real localized stories at that global platform, and bringing all these, but from an implementation of action and success stories. So what we are looking into COP30 is to lobby that Kenya, like what Mheshimiwa said, that is going to have a Kenyan village. We are so big in climate action, climate solutions that we really need to showcase. The billion trees, the 15 billion tree project. We have quite a number of projects that we have in the water and sanitation that are on climate resilience. So we have all these that if we are able to showcase all the way to the local level, we can be able to become a model in Kenya, because Kenya is a party to COP.
Absolutely, and very well said. Thank you so much, Eva Muhia, for being here, and of course being an ambassador for this project. And I feel like a lot of people need to try and understand that work is being done, because most of the times we focus on the negatives and not on the positives. And I'm glad that you are here to expound on the work that has been done so far, and the work that continues to take place behind the scenes without people really noticing. And I'm glad that you are doing something for the rivers, because, you know, restoring our rivers is like restoring the country's glory, especially Nairobi. Nairobi River is something that comes with a lot of pride as a Nairobian, as a Kenyan. So asante sana for the great work. That's Eva Muhia, Commissioner, Nairobi Rivers Commission. And we were talking about the road to COP30, of course, that's going to be taking place from the 10th to 21st of November 2025 in Brazil. And as she mentioned, we do hope to see some Kenyan stories there, which will, of course, put Kenya on the map and to show that Kenya is really taking part in the climate solutions. And we do have our own success stories as well. So, Eva, if someone wants to reach out to you, if someone wants to speak to you, how can they find you? Maybe an email, maybe social media handle, something, LinkedIn?
Yes. Nairobi Rivers Commission. Just Google, just check Nairobi Rivers. It will just appear. We're in Twitter. Our address.
So
our
at
office
Nairobi Rivers Commission.
At Nairobi Rivers Commission.
All right.
Yes.
And yes, final remarks as we close.
We have local solutions. And we have local impacts. Let's showcase them.
Okay, short and sweet. We love that here. Thank you so much for being here, Eva. And that's it from us right here at Green Fix. This has been quite an insightful and interactive conversation with Eva, and I hope you took something home, and of course you're able to just open your eyes with regards to how important it is to have climate action solutions, how important it is to be climate resilient, and how important it is to take the green story further. My name is Shiksha Arora, and this is the Daily Report. Make sure you tune in, as always to TV 47, the home of untold stories. My sign language interpreter has been Valine Owino, as well as Catherine Simaloy. There's two of them right now. So it's been a very interesting broadcast, but thank you so much nonetheless for doing an amazing job to both our sign language interpreters. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, and yes, stay safe. Shiksha Arora signing out. Bye-bye.